Hey guys, this is Ryan Hauser. Welcome to RU Signals. I just wanted to do a quick little video here to um, get you looking at charts and stuff a different way. Now, don't pay a lot attention of this right here. I couldn't get this window open without showing it, and I have this on my little day trade account. Where I do like minute trades, hour trades type thing. So I was just messing around last night before I went to bed and I just want to show how funny this played out. But what I try to do is on my day trade accounts is I'll go down to like the 5 minute window, 5 minute time frame, and I'll start drawing mini Elliott waves to try to see kind of where it's going, because always in a market I mean it's just full of tons of Elliott waves, okay, from the larger view, which we're going to get to here in a minute, and then of course down to here. So what I did is the first Elliott wave that I found closest to where I was ending was I thought there was this one here. So 1, 2, 3, the white we're looking at, 4 is under here, and then 5. And it capped here. Now when I was doing this, I was doing it at about this time frame. Okay, and so I'm like, okay, if this is the fifth, then we're looking to come down on an ABC retracement. And so I mapped this out. Now I had put B actually at about 42.40. Okay, when I was doing my map out. So I had set a sell at 42.30. Anyways, it didn't quite reach it. It came up here to like 42.13, 42.14. All right. Anyways, and then it came down. So and basically, when you're done your retracement, once it breaks out again, you're basically starting a new mini Elliott wave. Okay, so now we're going to be starting like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 type of thing. Now, on the little bit larger of a time frame, as you can see on this green one, well, not a larger time frame, sorry, another Elliott wave. So as you can see, we kind of, we mess around right here. So we break out again here from this. So I started a little Elliott wave here. So with the green line, you went 1 to 2, pardon me, yeah, 2, and then 3 up here. So 3 is your 5. So on a little bit more of a future Elliott wave, you can see down here we got our 4 down to here, and then our 5 is going to come up, say, roughly to here. And then, of course, we'll probably do another little one right here. But anyways, I just want to show you that. Like, I want you guys to get practice on, putting in little Elliott waves, even in the smaller time frames. I noticed there were some of you on the last webinar that were saying that you also wanted to kind of do a little bit more smaller trades and stuff on multiple trades in the day or whatever. And so this is kind of what you want to do. The Elliott wave theory works in every single time frame, and as you get to read them, okay, for instance, like right here, when it gets confirmed, you can kind of get out here. And if you'd have known this, if you'd have drawn this out, pre-drew it out, and you get into here and it's confirmed that it's going back up, you can get into here, get out here. Even if you got out here, you wanted to wait and make sure it bounced back down. Excuse me, because you got a little bit of greed. You can get out here, and you still would have made, roughly, what would that be? 55. Oh, that's like $90. Yeah, plus of $90. So depending what your trade is, I mean, you would have did pretty good right there. So if you're going to play the smaller trades, you want to learn to draw these up in smaller time frames to kind of see where you are, and don't sell yourself on where you are. Make sure that they map out, because at first, I was just stuck onto this green one or whatever, but then when I started messing around here, I'm like, well, what if this is my 5, and then I kind of drew it back, and I was able to still draw one right from down here. You see how this kind of flattens out once it breaks through, so I drew there, and then it made it clear. I'm like, oh, dang, we're in an ABC retracement here, so I want to kind of get out at the B. Now, I overshot it just a hair, and here's what I'm finding is ever since we had the last 2 times where it kind of dumped down, with the whole China news and garbage like that, it's not quite manifesting to the peaks of where you would think it would, okay? It's falling up like maybe just a little short, and so from now on, I'm just going to drop my peaks a little bit so that I can get a better time frame on it. And if it exceeds the peak, it exceeds the peak. But like for instance, on my little day trade account, I would have rather got out here at the B, but instead I'm still in it. because I set my sale up here at 42.30 and it didn't quite hit it. So now we're sitting way down here. Now I bought in at I think I'm 41.60 down to here on my day trade one. So right now I'm in a little bit of a hole, but not much. I mean, it'll come back out here now. But I'm sitting actually, it's 50, 59 or 61. I'm right in here. But you see what I'm saying? Like, had I have just got a little less down into here, and it would have sold out, I would have been a nice little profit. And then right now I could be getting in, and I'd already be sitting in a positive right now, because I could have got in at like 41.35. All right, so you're better off when you're doing your little bit of day trading, set them a little bit short, because if not, you're kind of going to miss some more trades coming up in here. Like right now, I'm a sitting duck, and in my day trader, I don't like to go in heavy. So like for instance, I could go in and double, like I'm sitting at like 30,000 contracts. I could go in and double it down here to then bring this down here a little bit and then sit and wait. But like I say, I don't want to get into heavy on that trade. It'd be a different story if I would have got in, say, up here by accident, like misread something, and then it went way down to here where there was like 100, difference. I mean, then I would have kind of went in more. But I don't like to, when I get into a certain amount, which is about anywhere from 20 to 40,000 on my day trade account, I pick and choose very carefully once I get up to that number. Like I'll never start a trade at 40,000. I'll start it at the biggest I'll start in my day trade is like 20,000. You guys all have your own numbers, but I usually start at like 10, and then if it goes up, I might dump in a little bit more 10, or I'll do it, and then I just I get in and out really quick into this account, because I always want this account to be sitting ready for when we start to go bearish, and you can get in really good. So anywho, I'm going to delete this stuff. I wish I didn't have to, but I'm not even logged in, and it still keeps it in this window. So I just was talking to you about that, just for the simple fact I had it all over the screen. So now let me delete everything out of here. All right, so now what we're going to do is now we're going to get into the video that I wanted to get into. All right, so let me just fix my chart, and we'll get started here. We're just going to switch to the 12-hour here so I can show you now. I just want to show you how it's kind of manifesting on this fifth leg here, like we've planned, or at least it seems to be. All right, come on. Let's get the charts working here. Go to the 12-hour. Weird. Odd time it's done that. I don't know how to really fix that. Let's hit refresh real quick here. Alright. Yeah, see, it starts to go invalid symbol. What am I invaliding? Let me go back to the 5 and see if I have anything sitting in there that's going to be in the way. Any kind of lines. Oh, there's the line. Let's just see. Maybe that's what's causing the problems. Delete that. Alright, I can't zoom out anymore. I think there's nothing else. Let's just go up slowly then real quick. Yeah, it's weird when this happens. So 3 days. Okay, 3 days loaded up. Alright. So, just put this in here. I'm going to try to go to the 1 day. Or pardon me, 12-hour now. Let's just see what we got. It's so weird why this is happening. Alright, anyways, see if we can get onto the 1 day. Alright, so we got it on the 1 day mark. We'll still be able to map this out a little bit. Not to the level that I wanted to, but you're going to get the gist. Okay, so basically, let me just make this a little bit bigger for you guys to see. Okay, so what we're working on right now is we're working on the bigger picture here, okay? So we start down here, go 1, down here 2, 3. Just move that out a little bit so I can see where that went down here. Okay, 4. And now we're working on this wave here. Now, right here we're on the 1 day. Okay, I was going to go into the 12-hour, but you're going to see the exact same picture. Now, guys, this here could very well go anywhere from 7 to 10,000. It can stop really up anywhere up in here. And like I said, as I'm seeing on the shorter time frames, which this 3 is not in the right spot. What I'm seeing right now in the shorter time frames is we're not quite hitting the peaks, is what you're drawing out, just a little bit. I think it's just from a little bit of fear. But what you got to understand is when this starts getting up into here, and guys, I'm not saying this is happening tomorrow. This could take weeks to months. I'm talking, like we're basically probably by the end of the year is where we're going to hit the top of this Elliott wave, and then when we do, guys, we're going to be on a serious retracement period, and that's why you definitely want to stay in the loop and stay in the game, because just as you're in this, okay, you're also going to be. Let me just make this a little bit shorter here, real quick. Once we hit to wherever, whether it be here, whether it be at 8 grand, wherever, it's going to be coming back down on an ABC retracement. Okay, and then we're going to get back down into here. So, and we could go, as low, maybe get down here into, say, your 3,500. So you want to, that's when we're going to be doing our bearish, our short trades. So you definitely want to be paying attention to the market, learning how to read it. Now, with this current trade, once we started to know that we were looking at doing this, we had entries. I'd put in the signals, I believe, like 3750-ish range. All right, which is about right here. Okay. Now, then of course, I bought in more at the 39 something range. Basically, once we broke out here. Okay. So basically, what we did here is, let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit more. So we take the two tops here, and once we broke out here, well, kind of just before, it was at the 39. No, it's actually, yeah, right at just after we broke out. Past this red line here, it was like about 39 something is where I bought more in. Okay, now I'm also, I also bought a little bit more in up at when it got to 4,100, just because I wanted more in the game. Okay, so anyways, here's kind of where we're sitting right now, and we're working on this longer wave here. Okay. And this is what you guys want to look out is, you don't want to get in over, and that's why I said I didn't put in a lot down here when I got in at 37, because we were kind of sitting to where it could have went either way, okay? Anyway, so and then once it broke through, gain a little bit more confidence. Don't be afraid to add a little bit more in, then add a little bit more in. As you see it playing out, what you're perceiving, what you're drawing out, okay? All right, so now... Oh wait, actually, one more thing, real quick. I want you guys just to understand. I can't remember if I already said this yet in this video, but when we start doing this is where money just starts pouring in. Obviously, to make this rush happen, okay. And this is where everybody and their dog gets in and says, "Hey, we got to get in. Bitcoin's going to 25 grand and whatever." Okay, and I want you to be aware, and you need to be staying alert. Obviously, you're trading here, but when you take that theory of the Elliott wave and all the emotions and the euphoria up here, wherever it caps off, we come back down to here, we're going to push up to right here, but you need to be recognizing this, and obviously I'll keep you in tune, as I see it as well, because then you're going to want to get out. So say if this was the top, you don't want to get out around here. You're not going to want to, when it comes back down to here and then it starts to go back up, don't fall for the trap that most are going to fall for. Oh, okay, wait, no, it's going to go to 25, it's going to go to 25, and then they stay in. And then boom, we do our ABC retracement. Okay. So anyways, I can't stress enough to really learn how to draw out these Elliott waves, and then when you do get a good hang of it, you're going to get a really good picture. But you need to do a more long term also to kind of see what we're doing, and that's going to tell you, what, I might have screwed up this trade, but in the longer time frame, we're building the third leg, or we're building the fifth leg, so I know it's coming up, so I don't need to panic. I don't need to sell for loss. I just need to ride it out, etc. Um, now, how do we know that, for instance, we're not on an ABC retracement right now, to where, let's see, I hate when this, I'm on the different laptop just because it's kind of a pain. But anyways, to where we're starting here, going down to here, back up to here, an ABC retracement. And I mean, the honest truth is we don't. But since we broke out here, everything's just showing those signs. But guys, that is why we set our stop losses, we ride our profit. Now, for instance, if you've got in on your signals, you're in here right now. We're already sitting in a pretty good profit. But as we start to get up here and it starts to grow, you keep bumping up your stop loss. Okay, and that way you're always protecting your profit. Okay, so that's one thing I definitely want to know. The only other question I got from the webinar video is like, why in this larger time frame do I start the Elliott wave here and I don't start it from here? And the simple fact is, this is a completely different market, as you guys can see right here. You've got, one sec here real quick. Thought it was under that one there. So crazy how it's so much different when I'm on this computer and the other one. It's the exact same symbol. For some reason I draw blanks and can't find my stuff. Alright, anyways, if you take right here, this market is completely different. You can see right here this is when we started to go vertical. So I mean, this is a completely different market structure, okay, than this one did. This is back in the early of Bitcoin. It was just a completely different market structure. Now, don't get me wrong, you still found Elliott waves and stuff into here, but this is when Bitcoin started going vertical. And so this is where you want to start it, okay? All right, so now I just wanted to get onto that. Now, what we're gonna go into here. Let me just adjust this window a little bit. All right, actually, you know what? Let's just delete this. I want to show you how I prepare for this. So you want to be prepared just in case for that scenario. Now, let me just make this a little bit bigger. Sorry, okay, I had to take a call there. Okay, so anyways, now how I map it out is, well, basically, I'll just go into here in the fib retracement, and I'll map it out here real quick. Let's see, it goes to about, say, to there. Now, how are we reading this? Is basically, once we broke through here, down to here, okay, once we broke through here, we knew, that's basically letting me know that, hey, we're in our third wave here, okay, and now we've done the same here. We've come into the third wave, and then we've done the same here. We broke it out, and that's what's telling me it's on the fifth leg. Now, when you're buying Bitcoin this high, you always want to be prepared, okay, and that is why we drag our stop. We have our stop losses follow us as we go up, because you've got a lot of money. You've got a lot of money on the table, and so you definitely want to be prepared. And even though we map it out or whatever, you just don't want to go in there and just trust 100% of what you're mapping out. Your map out is a guide, but you still want to always put in, you still want to always be aware of precautions and stuff like that. I mean, the last thing that I want is like, I want to be able to know kind of when I need to get out and map it out, because the last thing I want to do is like, oh shoot, oh, I should have got out yesterday, and made a lot more profit. And that's kind of why you just constantly, like, I'm not saying constantly, I'm not saying constantly like hours in the day, but I mean every single day, it'd be good to get good practice to kind of come in, map it, make sure everything is going as to plan. Okay, because there are a lot of times for instance, I'm showing you right now on the 1 day chart, the big picture here, okay, but there are so many times if to get in and out if you are doing a shorter account on a day trade account, okay, and then of course you want to have your longer play account as well, because there's just a lot of safety and security in your own mind when when you're sitting $300-400 ahead of what your buy-in was, you're not as stressed out more or less than when you're doing your day trading, and you get in at 41.50 and it drops to 41.30 and it stays at 41.30, 41.20 and 41.40 for like 2 days. You know what I mean? And you're always in the hole type of thing. But when you start to map stuff out, you just get a lot more clear and confident on what the market is going to be doing. Okay, now let's just see where this can play out. Now, if we play out this leg 5 on the extreme, let me just take that out of there 1 sec. On the extreme leg, I mean, you guys can see here now. Every time I map this out, it's a little bit different, but as you can see, upwards like 10,000, 10,002. If it's extreme. Now, of course, if it doesn't play out, how do we protect our profits? And what you're going to want to be looking at, zoom in here real quick. And this is why, like I said, we always kind of need to be paying attention. But we'll be here. Let me just grab this here. We'll be give you maybe a nice green. You're going to want to be, protecting it. Say about right here, the 45, say $4,700 range. So once it's in, I always do that. I drag instead of clicking it. All right. So right in this area. So as this fifth wave gets into this area, that's when we're going to kind of see how strong the market is. Okay, and then that's where we're going to make it, because what's going to most likely happen is I'll probably sell here to secure my profit and then buy back in down here. Okay, and then basically start a new trade up into here. Okay, and that's basically just to protect our investment, because remember now, if this is going to do this ABC retracement here, okay, and come down into here, we're going to want to protect protect our profits into here, and so it doesn't hurt. We come into here, like I said, we'll depend this on market strength and kind of what's going on and evaluate it at that time. But yeah, like I said, might get out here and get in down here. Depending on how we read it at that time. All right, and like I said, when we start to push through here, if we do, there's just going to be a lot of money coming in quick, and we'll just basically follow it up with, as we move our stop losses in. Okay, we'll just delete this here real quick. All right, one other thing, just remember now, if this does push through, it's still going to be starting to create little Elliott waves, okay? So, for example, you start right down here, you'll start a 3 right up into here, okay, and then you'll come down, say, it'd be about roughly right there, and then, it'll push up here. Say to the $6,000 mark. All right, so you got to understand that when you start to read these in these little waves, even when it pushes through, you still have these little waves. And again, when you look at it this way, to come into here and to sell at a profit, and then to come down to here and then play this fifth leg, it's completely fine as long as you see it. It actually gets you more profit for the simple fact you're selling here, you're buying back in lower, okay, and then you're going to ride this fifth wave. And then the key is, when you're riding this fifth wave, you want to keep kind of following up your profit loss, because you just don't know where this peak is going to come. Now, of course, we'll usually get the little bit of dip, so even if you miss it, you're going to kind of come up into here. But if you do that, if you start to come back down to here and then you come back up, this is what you want to get out here, because you want to make sure if it is that top, now you're doing your ABC retracement again, and we're starting all over. One other thing to keep in mind is the other reason you want to look at these the smaller Elliott waves is because when it breaks through, it's always going to come back down and play that and test that resistance. Okay, so basically, it's actually going to be. Let me just delete this out of here real quick. Whoops. All right, so it's going to test this zone right here, which basically is about where we're at right now. Okay, about right here. So when it comes up into this zone, It's going to come back down, and it's going to try to test this this resistance right here to bounce back off of that and to continue moving up. Now, so if you got in, say at this amount, which is about where we are, say 41.40. If you got in at about here, and if I was to get in here and it came up into this zone, I would set my stop loss at break even. Okay, and then worst case, if it came back down here and then it bounced off and started getting in, then all I would do is I would just buy back in, because now it's bounced off and it's continuing. Okay, and that's how I would do it. But for us, I mean, if you got in down at the $3,700 dollar range, obviously, then you can play it to where your stop loss is down here, because you're still going to be in the profit. You can kind of let it bounce without getting out, and then carry on. Again, guys, it's why buying in at the right time really helps, because there's just a lot of things that you don't have to do. But I want to reiterate the point on long trades: do not ever have a trade going where you don't have a stop loss set somewhere. All right, just so you don't get caught on a really long downward trend, and now you're riding this thing out for a month to get out, or you screwed up real bad and you're getting liquidated. Okay. Now, just because I said, that I would get set my stop loss here, it doesn't mean that once it's up here, if it starts to show it's a little bit weak, then sell out here for your profit. If you were, say we did get in here, sell out here for our profit, and then just kind of wait it out and just see which way it's going to go. And if it comes down here, it bounce back in, you can get right in. If it starts to get strong and continues on, just buy back in. Okay. But the key is to always kind of secure profit, but not on a panic situation to where you're missing a bunch of opportunities. Okay, because there's something about getting in early and then instead of selling out and whatever, just keep moving up your stop loss and just playing the game at your advantage instead of trying to play catch up. Okay, the last little point on this video here, just get rid of this stuff here real quick, is I want to reiterate how you do not want to chase the price. And the reason I say that, no, actually I should have left that in there, is because what we can easily see is that this would possibly push right up into here, into the $4,400 range, okay, say about right here, and then easily do a retracement back to our breakout, back down. Let me see, I need to zoom in a little bit more here for you guys. Back in here, say the $4,000 range, okay, where we broke out here. So you don't want to chase the price, because if you're starting to chase that price and you get up here into that 4,400, like I said, there's a very good chance that when we get up into that range, we could easily do a retracement back into where we made that with that push through, which is, what was it, like $3,980 to $4,000 range. Okay, let me just and then and then of course start bounce back off that and start to take off. So anyways, that's it for this video. I just wanted to kind of show you what we're seeing happen right now. Just move some things around here real quick. So when you start, in the shorter time frames, you obviously want to look at the smaller Elliott waves. On the larger time frames, like for instance right now we're on the daily, and that's when you want to play it out and draw your bigger Elliott waves to kind of see the whole picture. Also, you can kind of get a good read. We'll get into more on future trainings. I just don't want to put too much into certain ones, but you can see here, like every one of these basically right now is a day, so you can kind of still read the trends, see how we are. Let me see if we can just happen to load the 6 hour real quick. Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know why that's happening right there, but anyways, hopefully it's fixed on another video. Sometimes it does that. Let's see what we can load up, if anything. Yeah, doesn't look like anything else is loading up on this. But anyways, that was basically all I wanted to include into this video. So get really good at going back in and putting in your Elliott waves. Now, you don't just have to do the future Elliott waves, guys. Just come back into here and start them, and start learning off of history, because history repeats itself when it comes to trading. Okay, and once you guys get in here and you get into you got to get into the smaller time frames, but then you can start going back days and days and days, and you're going to see how everything starts to repeat itself. You know, go into the 6 hour, start to map them all out, and I mean it's like clockwork. Okay. So anyways, guys, I hope that was informative to you. If you guys have any questions, make sure you get into RU Elite and get onto the webinars. I have a funny feeling a lot of that is going to have questions regarding regarding a lot of trading, obviously, because there's a lot of people having success at trading. And I'm telling you guys, once you start to learn a little bit more, it's not so much the market that changes that why you're going to have success. It's your confidence level, and it'll allow you to remove emotion out of your trading, and that's where you start to make the really good money. All right, guys, I hope that was informative, and we'll see you in another video.